Okay, let's dive in. Imagine a retail empire, a real cornerstone in its country for decades, suddenly making this huge digital jump.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just about their website or apps. It's actually reshaping their whole corporate future. That's exactly what's happening in South Korea right now with Shinsegae department store.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is how these seemingly small digital changes can kick off something much, much bigger. We're talking multi-billion-dollar corporate restructuring here.
Right.
It's not just about apps. It's power dynamics. It's long-term strategy. It's even about, solidifying a family legacy.
And that's the story we're digging into today. We're using the sources you provided, financial reports, industry analysis, even some internal notes. Our mission is to really unpack these strategic moves by Shinsegae department store and its chairwoman, Jung Yu-kyung. We want to understand how these recent digital innovations are basically signaling a massive corporate spin-off.
Yeah, reshaping the foundation.
Exactly. And the thing that really sparked this whole conversation, the immediate catalyst, was the recent launch of two platforms at the same time, biondShinse계 and viashinse계.
And they are definitely more than just, shiny new online platforms.
That's what I'm hearing?
Indeed. If you really connect the dots, these launches are probably the clearest public signal we've seen yet of this huge, long-expected shift within the whole Shinse계 group.
Okay, so let's start there. The big digital leap. Beyond SSG닷컴.
Yeah.
So, August 5th. Shinsegae department store rolls out two new online platforms, biondShinse계 for shopping, viashinse계 for premium travel. What's the actual big deal here? Why is this so significant?
Well, the game changer is that the department store can now process online payments directly through its own app. That's huge.
Well, okay.
Before this, if you were using the Shinsegae app, you could browse products, sure, but to actually buy something from the department store,
You had to go somewhere else.
exactly. You got kicked over to the SSG닷컴 app, specifically to the Shinsegae section within that app. It was clunky, fragmented.
Right, multiple steps. So biondShinse계, it sounds like they've really streamlined it.
Yeah.
A proper one-stop shop.
Pretty much. Product check, online payment, over 220 brands, all inside the one app experience.
But okay, convenience is great, but what's the real strategic angle? Is there something deeper going on to pull customers over to these new platforms?
Whoa, absolutely. And this is where it gets quite clever, actually.
Okay.
Until the end of this year, December 31st, 50%, half, of what you spend on biondShinse계 counts towards your VIP status for next year at the physical Shinsegae department store.
Wow, okay. And that wasn't the case before.
Critically, no. Purchases made through SSG닷컴 did not count towards that VIP status.
So this is a direct shot at pulling high spenders onto their own platform.
Precisely. It's not just about making it easier to shop online. It's a powerful, targeted incentive. They're basically saying, hey, loyal, high-value customers, come over here, shop on our platform, and we'll reward you. It's like a strategic land grab for their best customers as the spin-off gets closer.
That is a very strong signal.
Yeah.
And it leads us perfectly into decoding the corporate strategy, the whole spin-off idea. You mentioned this long-anticipated shift earlier. Are industry watchers really seeing this move, these independent platforms, as the clearest sign yet that a spinoff is actually happening?
Absolutely, yes. The consensus in the industry is that this is a direct, calculated move by the Shinsegae Group to lay the groundwork for a formal business spinoff. It clears things up.
How so?
Well, historically, the main online powerhouse for the whole Shinsegae Mart group was SSG닷컴, right?
Yeah.
And that was primarily led by Young Youngjin, the Shinsegae Group chairman.
Okay.
Which meant the Shinsegae department store's own app often felt a bit, left behind, underdeveloped in its e-commerce functions, almost like a junior partner online.
Right. And then came the official announcement, basically confirming everyone's suspicions. October 30th, 2024, during the executive reshuffle for 2025, Shinsegae Group officially declared a spinoff.
That's right.
And this included Young Yuk-young getting promoted to Shinsegae chairman. Her brother, Young Young-jin, had already been promoted to Shinsegae Group chairman back in March. So now you have both siblings holding chairman titles.
Correct. A chairman for the group and a chairman specifically for Shinsegae, the department store side.
So what's the group's official line? What's their stated reason for this massive restructuring?
Well, the key question is why now? The group officially says Young Yu-king's promotion and the whole spin-off plan are about strengthening responsible management and setting up the foundation for independent growth.
Independent growth.
Yeah, the big picture goal is to grow the overall business by splitting it cleanly into two main pillars, the department store sector and the e-mart sector. Think of it like formally dividing the kingdom.
Okay.
So each part can chase its own growth strategy without being, tied to the other's priorities.
That makes a lot of sense. And when you talk about splitting a kingdom like this, the big question, the elephant in the room, must be SSG.com.
Definitely.
The fate of SSG.com,
Yeah.
a shareholding puzzle. What happens to that huge online platform in all this? That was seen as the biggest challenge, wasn't it?
It really was the central piece, the linchpin. SSG.com, it has this kind of unique origin story. It started back in 2014, merging different online bits like eMart Mall and Shinsegae Mall.
Right.
Then later, it became its own separate company by literally splitting off the online business units from eMart and Shinsegae and merging them together. So sort of like a digital child raised jointly by both sides of the family.
Okay, so how does that joint custody look in terms of ownership now?
Right now, eMart holds the bigger piece, 45.6% of SSG.com. Shinsegae holds 24.4%. So for eMart to get majority control, they'd need about another 15% from Shinsegae. But for Shinsegae to take control, they'd need a whopping 36% more from eMart. That's a big difference in the equity needed.
A very big difference. So based on those numbers, and maybe looking at how SSG.com actually operates, what do the projections tell us about where it's likely to end up?
Well, if you connect this to the bigger picture, SSG.com's own projected transactions for 2025 give us a massive clue.
Yeah.
The business it expects to do with eMart is projected to be way higher. We're talking around 1.04 trillion Korean won. That could be up to like 18.5% of its quarterly sales.
Wow. And compared to Shinsegae?
Much, much smaller. Only about 77.4 billion won annually expected with Shinsegae.
Okay, that's a stark contrast.
It really is. So given those numbers, the strong consensus in the industry is that SSG.com is almost certainly going to end up under the eMart umbrella. It just makes more sense financially and operationally.
Yeah, the path of least resistance, financially speaking.
Okay.
So SSG.com's fate seems pretty clear then. Which brings us to how this independence is actually being accelerated, these share transfers. They seem like really critical power moves lately.
Exactly right. These aren't just dry financial dealings. They're major strategic chess moves solidifying the split.
Tell us about them.
Okay, so on May 30th, the big news was that Lee Myung-hee, she's the Shinsekegrroup general chairman, the mother of both Young Yong-jin and Young Yu-kyung.
The matriarch.
Right. She announced she would gift her entire 10.21% stake in Shinsegae, the department store company, to her daughter, Young Yu-kyung, effective June 30th.
Her entire stake.
Her entire stake in that specific company. This one move bumps Young Yu-kyung's ownership in Shinsegae from just under 19% to over 29%. That significantly tightens her control over the department store side.
And her brother, Young Yong-jin, made a similar move earlier this year, right? With eMart shares.
Yes, back in February. He received his mother's entire 10% stake in eMart. That transaction happened via off-hours trading.
Off-hours trading.
Yeah, basically a trade done outside regular stock market hours. It's often used for large block transfers between specific parties, like family members, to make it smoother.
Got it.
So you see these parallel moves. Gifting shares of Shinsegae to the daughter, transferring shares of eMart to the son. These are absolutely critical steps. They're building truly independent operational and ownership bases for both siblings, clearly marking out their separate territories.
It really paints a clear picture.
Yeah.
Which leads us to Young Yu-kyung's future vision. Beyond the spinoff, these new platforms, beyond Shinsegae and via Shinsegae, they're obviously more than just digital tools now. They feel symbolic, don't they? Like they represent her whole vision for Shinsegae's future.
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. This vision, it includes, yes, integrating the online and offline shopping experience seamlessly. But crucially, it's also about expanding into completely new areas like premium travel with via Shinsegae.
Diversification.
Exactly. It's all about making sure the department store sector has its own strong, independent growth paths after the spinoff. It can't just rely on traditional retail anymore. It needs its own engine.
So looking ahead, post-spinoff, the picture seems pretty clear. Young Yong-jin leads the eMart side, retail, food, hotels, and Young Yu-kyung heads up the Shinsegae department stores, fashion, beauty, duty-free.
That's the anticipated division of power, yes. A new era for this family-run giant.
It really is.
And the independence of these new online platforms, Beyond and Via, it truly serves as that first really clear public signal. It tells us that Shinsekegroup's preparation for this spinoff, which has been, simmering for maybe a decade,
Wow,
is now fully, actively underway. It's like the first official shot fired, you could say, in this major strategic realignment that's going to define their next chapter.
That's a powerful way to end it, the first shot fired. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? When a massive conglomerate like this undergoes such a deep strategic split, establishing this kind of independence within a family structure, what does that actually mean down the line?
For innovation, for competition in the market, even for us as consumers. It's definitely something significant to keep an eye on as this whole corporate transformation plays out, and the future of South Korean retail really starts to take a brand new shape.